8:49 on my way to pick up Dan for the latest episode of The Plan. Today's topic is, what are you wearing? Literally, what are you wearing and why are you wearing it? Men's clothes, not something we talk about very much, is it? It's just something that happens. At some point, you make a decision what you're going to look like as an adult, what you're going to wear. And that might be very much governed by what you do for a living, or maybe just harking back to stuff you liked to wear when you were a teenager. There's all kinds of reasons we wear what we want to wear. But what are they? And what is this thing called fashion? Do we get involved with it really, or are we doing the bare minimum? It's an interesting one. Stick around. So this episode, we are talking about what the are you wearing?
Me?
No, just in general. What are we wearing?
See.
Why are we wearing it? How has it changed? What people our age wear? What did you used to wear when you was 15? What was your gear?
Sean, as you know, I've always been the epitome of taste and style.
That's exactly why I'm asking you.
Yeah. I was what was referred to at the time as a grebo.
You were a grebo? I forgot you were a grebo.
Yeah, so
you had the long hair and everything.
I had nipple-length, long blonde hair.
Damn.
I mean, I was a good-looking, muscular type at that age, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, German army shirts was clothes from like the
no way from the old surplus store.
Big boots.
Yeah.
I had a biker's jacket, ripped jeans.
Wow.
Generally band T-shirt, Rage Against the Machine T-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
That's full on.
Yeah.
That's a very different look from where you are now.
I know, yeah. Oh, no. So, I mean, well, it's not that different, actually. I still wear leather jackets and jeans. In fact, I've worn leather jackets and jeans pretty much all my life.
Yeah.
Why, what were you wearing when you were 15? Let me guess. Baggy jeans and Nikes.
When I was 15, hang on. So when I was 15, it would have been 88.
Yeah.
1988, I would have been wearing, it wasn't quite baggy jeans yet. That was 89. So it would have been relatively tight jeans.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been wearing Nike Air high tops of some kind, whether they were Jordans or not, depends on how much money my mum was prepared to spend on trainers that year. I'd have been wearing, it was a year before sort of Joe Bloggs and all that stuff. 88, so would have been wearing Nike or, I know, Levi's 501s were a big deal when I was in secondary school. It would have been 501s. It would have been, Nike high tops, probably some kind of baggy T-shirt, whether it was Nike or Adidas or whatever. You know, maybe a Nike Windjammer.
A what?
You know, do you remember the thin Nike jackets?
Yeah.
They were called the Nike Windjammer.
There was NAF, or NAFCO 54 when I was at school.
Ah, okay, yeah, that was later.
Yeah, that was sort of early to mid-90s.
Yeah. But I was like BMX, skater, I was into all that, so I would have Vans, I would have, the whole skater thing was an alternative look. I would probably not do that in front of anyone I went to school with very much.
No.
That was kind of my weekend attire, I guess.
Thing is, once I left school, I got into house music, dance music, clubbing.
Yeah.
And so I went from that sort of look to white jeans and skin-tight velour T-shirts.
Lovely.
Yeah, great look.
Yeah.
I used to wear my mum's tops, actually.
I mean, I dread to think, what, the lacy ones?
No, just T-shirts. I'd wear like Spice Girls T-shirts and, really tight.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a strange phase just after school.
Well, like you, I went through a very short grebo phase.
Yeah.
When I was 17, I was kind of I'd been in bands since I was about 14 or 15, but at 17, I started a band with some mates and we were a rock band.
Yeah.
Before that, it'd always been electronic kind of stuff. And I was a guitarist, so I grew my hair and I started wearing sort of leather jackets and I started wearing boots and, it was a look that I sort of pulled off just about for about a year.
You did, yeah.
And then realised, that ain't me. Yeah. And then I did revert back to type. I went back to the skater kind of vibe.
Yeah. Then, I don't know, mid-20s, I guess I was wearing but as soon as I got into like my 30s, I got a good mate who worked at Levi's.
That
and
helps.
so, and he's he's got what I haven't, like a good eye for
Yep.
sort of fashion and stuff. He's always really
Okay.
cool. He just looks cool.
Yep.
And he was dressing me. He was like, "You need to wear 518s." He knew what shape of jeans.
I remember 518s. I used to work in a jean shop when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, so
Ah, there you
518s
go.
and 507s, they
Yeah.
were the alternatives to 501s.
Yeah.
A little bit baggier.
No, these are the tight ones. I'm sure they were 518s.
Ah, might be. Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, the
Yeah.
tighter ones, but yeah, and black. And so I just ended up with about 6 or 7 pairs of exactly the same jeans.
Yep.
And then I found a pair of, do you remember those Nikes I used to wear? They're just black and white
Yeah.
Nike basketball court shoes. So they're not even Airs.
Yep.
So I just used to wear the same colour jeans. I had the same trainers for about
I remember.
6 or 7 years. Just wore exactly the same. And then I just wear either a plain white or a plain black T-shirt and a leather jacket.
Yep.
Or a denim jacket. And that was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too dissimilar these days
Makes
in that.
getting dressed easy.
Yeah, I don't go off piste very much. I generally wear Jordans every day.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got maybe 5 pairs or something. I probably, if I'm not wearing them, I'll be wearing my what are they called, the Timberlands. But they're
Boots, yeah.
they're sort of the crazy ones. I quite like them. That's kind of it. Don't wear any other footwear ever. Don't own any shoes.
You don't own any shoes.
I don't have any shoes. No, I only have trainers.
I remember that. Yes, you'd never.
If I go to a wedding, I'm probably wearing trainers.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Which is, I don't know, maybe I'll make an effort one day and change that.
Well, it'd be weird, I think, seeing you in shoes.
It might be weird. But you know what? I'd wear exactly like you, really. I'll find somewhere that does jeans that I think look good on me and fit well, and I'll buy them in all the colours.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
buy the dark blue, the light blue, the black,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe the grey. And then
Those ones with the elasticated waist, is that?
they're handy. But and then I've probably got a few Vans t-shirts, a few Nike t-shirts, a few Adidas t-shirts, a few Under Armour t-shirts. They're all pretty much the same, probably mostly the same kind of fit, and I've probably got 7 or 8 long sleeve tops which I like. They're all similar, and and everybody in my life, mainly my kids, point out, who were in their 20s,
Yeah.
that I dressed like a teenager.
Yeah.
I don't think I dress like a teenager now.
No.
I dressed like a teenager
when
I was a teenager. And it's probably
But I
true.
think that's what happens, isn't it?
Well, there's this whole thing. We are officially middle-aged. I'm older than you, but we're in that zone. And when our parents were this age,
Yeah.
they dressed old.
Yeah.
Like my dad in the 80s, when he was in his 50s,
Yeah.
like I am,
Yeah.
he was dressing like a man in his 50s. He was a bit of a younger dresser than his friends,
Yeah.
but he was still in that zone. You could tell he was a dad.
Yeah, maybe there was more separation between the generations. Generation separation then.
Yeah, I think
Generation separation.
that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I think there was a thing that once you got into your 30s, that was it. You got into your slippers and your cardigan,
Yeah.
and that was you done. You checked out of any kind
I
of.
do wear slippers.
See, I like the idea of slippers, and I do have them. I just never, ever put them on.
I miss them when I wear them, and I've got it's actually one of my partners, one of my girlfriend's friend's husband.
Yep.
And he takes his slippers everywhere with him. And I thought that is genius because I miss them.
You miss your slippers? when you're
Yeah,
young?
I do.
Well, I don't wear slippers, but so when I was living on my own for 12 years, I always just kept my trainers on, never took them off. I wouldn't take my shoes off in the evening. I went everywhere in my trainers, and then now I'm living with my girlfriend. She's like, no shoes in the house, which I thought was really weird at first.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get my head around it. Like, that's so annoying and awkward.
Yeah.
I like it now.
Yeah.
I very much like it. But it means that I've gone from wearing trainers all day to not wearing anything but socks when I'm indoors, which I quite like.
I can't get used to it. Because we've got hardwood floors in our house, and it just.
Yeah, we have. You slide everywhere.
Well, it's not. It's the coldness. I just like my. I don't know. I like my slippers.
We got underfloor heating.
I was looking at that actually.
Not all of it, only
yeah.
a bit.
What was I going to say to you? The other thing is socks and pants.
Yeah.
I discovered, and this isn't, I'm not going to tell you where I get them, but I buy exactly the same socks, and I've got all of my socks and all of my pants match.
Yeah, see, I tried to do that. I'd buy them all at the same time in the
Yeah.
same place.
Yeah.
And probably the same thought process as you, is that I don't have to worry about pairing
I
them
don't
up.
have any odd socks, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it never quite works out that way. There's always some stragglers left over from the last time I
They
bought
go in the
them.
bin now.
Yeah.
I am just completely savage with it. I can't have it. I just can't have it.
See, I'm sort of jealous. I need to get to that stage of zen in my sock drawer.
And I have to wear trainer socks all the time because I don't like stuff around my ankles.
Oh,
It's why I can't wear a watch. I don't like stuff around my ankles or around my wrists.
interesting.
It's why I can't wear a watch and I'm not into bondage.
You'd be late for it anyway.
But my ankles get cold when I ride my bike.
That's
Yeah.
such a weird thing.
Life's problems, Sean. These are the sorts of things I have to deal with.
Wow. So, how do you feel when you're in a social group of not necessarily your peers? Let's say you get dragged to a social event
Yeah.
of people you don't know.
Yeah.
The other people there are more regular people of about your age.
Yeah.
Do you feel you're dressed differently?
I'll be completely honest, I just really don't pay any attention. It just doesn't even register, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. I don't know. Some people dress very stylishly. Sometimes I think I see people like my other half says when I go. Sometimes I'll put on a shirt or to go to work, or I've got a smart jeans and shirt and shoes combo, and
Yep.
I've got a couple of blazers and stuff. And when I put those on, she says, "Oh, it's like going out with a grown-up."
Yeah, I think I get similar comments on the rare occasion I have to wear a suit.
Yeah.
But that is a rare occasion.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of nice suits and I'll wear them, weddings and funerals.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I just feel, I think I look very grown up and
Yeah.
probably look quite good in them. However, I don't feel myself in them.
No, I know. You don't feel yourself.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I've noticed more and more my friends are slipping into that bit of life where you make an effort less often. You know, it's like going down the pub now. Yeah, there's no point in dressing up.
No.
I'll just wear what I normally wear.
No.
You know, going out for a night with the missus. Yeah, I might put on a newer pair of trainers.
Well,
and,
that's what I mean.
and a newer top, but I'm probably not dressed much
Green.
different to the rest of the day.
I was going to ask that question because
Yeah.
I'm the same. I have some pairs of jeans that are slightly
Yeah.
better condition.
They're for going out.
Yeah, the slightly newer.
Yeah.
But I was good, and but again, yeah, a lot of the time I wear the same in the day that I do at night.
Yeah, I do.
Going out tonight, I'm
Yep.
going straight from here, going
Yep.
straight out. So I've put slightly nicer clothes on, but actually, as people will realise, it's exactly the same as what I normally wear. All Saints, I've just not discovered All Saints, but I buy a lot of stuff from All Saints,
Yeah, they
and that
make
sort of
nice
hits
stuff.
That hits kind of middle ground, I find.
Yeah. Their stuff's good, it lasts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it fits
Yeah.
well, doesn't go out of shape, all of that stuff. I mean, that's the thing we've got these days to contend with as well, is that when you go, like, let's say you buy a cheap t-shirt or cheap top from Primark or whatever, it's touch and go whether it's still going to be wearable after it's been washed.
Well, I've got to say, I only recently discovered Primani, and I spent 100 quid in there and got a massive bag of clothes.
Yep.
And it's really good quality.
Yeah, I think that's why I said hit and miss, because I've got stuff that I've had for a long time I bought in Primark, which is
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
I've had other stuff which is almost the same. So like, I've tried to buy the same t-shirt
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
and it's not lasted. I think they just go through different suppliers.
I'm sure they do, but I mean, there was that thing. There's a Netflix documentary on Amazon, and it's like the consumer, how we all just consume stuff and throw it
Yeah.
away. Nothing's fixed anymore.
Yeah.
And they're basically saying that whether you're buying Nike, or whatever brand you're buying, it all comes out the same sweatshop. They just put different labels in it.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It is weird. I mean, I talk about the town I live in quite a lot, but it is quite relevant to this in that there is a real culture of middle-aged men who do a certain kind of job, all dressing the same now.
They call it white. That's why it's called white collar workers, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like that whole finance bro thing you see online. They literally all wear like either a shirt without a tie and then a body warmer, a gilet, done up to the neck.
Yeah.
And, then some kind of casual kind of shoe.
Yeah.
Not a smart shoe. And, some quite tight trousers. It's just like,
Nice blue chinos.
oh man, it just winds me
Depending
up.
on how sort of posh you are,
Yeah.
do you wear beige, blue, or pink chinos?
Yeah. The word chino is not coming in my wardrobe ever. ever. Never happening. They are the most offensive trousers I've ever seen.
Pair of chinos and a nice pair of boat shoes.
See that? You see that in town all the time.
Yeah.
The other thing you see in this town all the time, which I will never understand, and if you ever see me doing this, punch me in the face immediately. The jump around the shoulders.
Oh, that's Alan Partridge, isn't
Do you know what I mean? They'll have maybe like a salmon-coloured polo shirt. They'll have their
Chevron
Ray-Bans
motif.
hanging off their nose a bit, and then they'll have a jump around their shoulder, and it's like, you're asking for it. What?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, that winds me up. I get quite riled up. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you do, actually. You don't normally get this angry.
Whereas
about
if
stuff.
I walk into a pub in my bright orange Jordans and a t-shirt that probably designed for a 15-year-old, anyone says anything negative, I'm angry about that. I understand.
You do have a certain style, a certain Vincent style.
I found my look 30 years ago.
I think that's the thing.
And I'm
You've hit the nail on the head there.
stuck
You
with
do, yeah.
It made me laugh years ago now, probably 10 years ago. I posted a picture of some new trainers I'd bought on Instagram. It was a pair of Adidas high tops, which I was really chuffed with. And you commented.
Did I?
Yeah. You said, these trainers should be called Sean Vincent's because they are the most Sean Vincent footwear I've ever seen. Of course you bought them. Which I thought was very apt.
Yeah, you do. You do have a certain style. Like, I mean, I like those trainers, but I wouldn't wear them.
No.
They wouldn't suit me. But you see, this is something else I read, because when I was going through my sort of brutalist phase of wearing black and white and the same, all the stuff, I used to cut my own hair. In fact, you see it in some of the videos, some of the older videos.
Yeah, I remember.
Just shave my own hair.
Yep.
And I've realised, since I've started to wear a bit of colour and growing my hair, people talk to me in public. People used to sort of walk around me.
Yep. Yeah, no,
Look
I've
like a
noticed that.
thug.
Yeah, I went through a phase every summer of shaving my head.
You did, yeah.
You absolutely notice the way people treat you is different.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've got the resting bitch face, as the missus calls it.
Yeah.
It can be a bit scary sometimes if I'm wandering around. My general face is, you better leave me alone.
Yes.
I'm not thinking that.
You are also 6 foot whatever you are, aren't you?
6'4", yeah, which I'm aware of the intimidation that comes with that.
6'4"? You can't be 6'4", are you? Are you? What, still? Your age?
Still my age, yeah. Not shrunk
That's
yet.
In your Nikes.
But it's annoying, when you get I find it annoying. I mean, there's a bit of me that quite likes the fact that I understand that my height and my grumpy face gives me a presence, which can be useful sometimes. But it also winds me up because I think there's nice people out there that won't talk to me or have an opinion about me.
Yeah.
Because of the way and probably because of the way I dress as well.
Yeah, the combination.
The combination of all of it probably makes people think someone I'm not. Or maybe they're spot on.
Yeah.
They think I'm a twat and I am.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that think that. And
Maybe they're right.
yeah.
So that was another fun-filled episode for you. Usual stuff. You can get it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I think Amazon Podcasts, all the podcasty places. We have an Instagram. We have TikTok.
Yeah.
And, you can like and follow and
all the
subscribe.
links will be sort of down there.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's, just the plan Sean and Dan. It'll come up on your web browser.
That it will.
So until next time, excuse me, need a Rennie.
See you later.